Okay. We'll leave it for the week, but I'm gonna make an edit. We'll be resuming next week. Designers? Oh, I know. But I didn't say director.
You're hostile.
We're talking about Jordan. Time 7:02, I call this session of the Whitewater Student Government to order. If you're able, please rise alongside me if you're set pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And as it relates to the pledge, I'm a huge hockey fan, but go USA, huh? Wonderful, wonderful. Madam Clerk, if you would you please call the roll?
Senator Geely,
Present.
Senator Hernandez, Senator Lang,
Present.
Senator Majors,
Present.
Senator Marty, Senator Petrusis,
Present.
Senator Brunel,
Present.
Senator Reber,
Present.
Senator Reyes,
Present.
Senator Richardson, Senator Schrocknagel,
Present.
Senator Vanderhyde,
Present.
Senator Wheaton,
Present.
Speaker Wilson.
Present. Okay, yeah, sure. With that, we will move into special orders, starting with the Senate oath of office. If you ran for a seat last week, or appointed to the Senate, and got your signatures verified by the clerk, please come join me here. Step up. Given you have been chosen by the students of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater as a senator on this student government, understanding that you have been chosen to perform such an active and important role, do you accept the position of senator and all the responsibilities, duties, and privileges it will include? If so, say, "We will to the best of our ability."
We will to the best of our abilities.
Wonderful. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Gabriel Genetti,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to fulfill the obligations and responsibilities of my office,
to fulfill the obligations and responsibilities of my office,
to be knowledgeable of
to be knowledgeable of
and uphold the WSG Constitution,
and uphold the WSG Constitution,
the WSG standing rules,
the WSG standing rules,
and university policy,
and university policy,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the two newest senators of the Whitewater Student Government. You are free to take your seats and join us. With that, we're going to move slightly out of order as we have a guest in the room. So if you would all join me in heading on down to new business, we're going to go to item A, presentation and approval request of the 27-28 academic calendar. Heather, you're welcome to join us up front. I like it a lot.
Oh, wow.
Gotta go to duck and weave.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Heather Shermack. I'm the registrar here. I always like to say there is one because nobody knows what the registrar does, but there really is one. But part of my job is the academic calendar, and I'm presenting today on the academic calendar for 27-28. This is coming from the Academic Calendar Committee. It's really basically, it's very similar to this year's calendar, actually. But the committee decided to start after Labor Day instead of having a Thursday, Friday beginning, because we all know how that goes, right? So we will be starting on a Tuesday and going a little bit later. That by doing that, we kind of equalize fall and spring on this calendar. So there's 15 weeks of instruction on both of them.
Wonderful.
Winter and summer is kind of the same, so.
Give everyone a minute to kind of take a look at the calendar, and then we'll move into questions. If anybody has any questions, we're ahead. Deputy Speaker Patrice?
You can have it back.
No, she's pointing at the, I didn't update this.
You'll see below fall and spring is winter around 2022 and summer 2022. Those dates have been updated in the official proposal. It's years.
Beautiful. Deputy Speaker Patrice?
You mentioned no one knows what the registrar does, so.
No, what do I do?
What does the registrar
Tell us, Nick.
The Office of the Registrar is in charge of managing and putting forth all the curriculum that faculty has. So that includes the catalog, that includes scheduling all the course sections that the departments and colleges want to offer. That includes collecting grades and putting them on your transcript. We are the official office that manages student records. We also bring you all the technology, so we work with PeopleSoft and now Stellic for degree audit and registration. We manage both of those. We also work with our vendor for transcript ordering. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of things we do. That's just some of it. Within the office, it's kind of separated. We have individuals that focus on registration and enrollment. Scheduling and catalog is another area, and I do have 2 technical people because of all the software we use now. When I started, we didn't have computers, so it's been an interesting ride in this profession. So that's kind of the highlights. We do a lot of other little things. We work with the colleges and student groups and things like that as needed, and also send out a lot of reports, both internally and externally.
Any other questions? President Bradley?
Does this go to other groups besides the Whitewater Student Government to look at?
Yes, this goes to every governing body and then goes to cabinet for final approval.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice, seeing none, wonderful. With that, we'll move into a vote on approval. So, Madam Clerk, if and when you're ready, would you please call the roll?
Senator Janetti,
Aye.
Senator Healy,
Aye.
Senator Lang,
Aye.
Senator Majors,
Aye.
Senator Patricus,
Aye.
Senator Purnell,
Abstain.
Senator Reber,
Aye.
Senator Reyes,
Aye.
Senator Schrocknagel,
Aye.
Senator Thompson. Aye. Senator Vanderhyde.
Aye.
Senator Wheaton.
Aye.
Speaker Wilson.
I abstain. With that, in a vote of 11 with 2 abstentions, the county is approved.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. And I'm seeing some curious faces as to why we may have abstained. I'll yield to the parliamentarian as I receive the call. And I think the parliamentarian can best explain.
So it was recently brought to my attention that according to Robert's rules, as we follow as a governing body, the person who holds the gavel, the chair, and the parliamentarian are not supposed to partake in partisan discussion or vote unless it is by ballot. Now, according to Wisconsin open meetings law, we do not vote by ballot unless it is to elect an officer. So Speaker Wilson and I will be abstaining for the remainder of this meeting.
Any questions on that? We'll give some time. Senator Gilly?
You said for the remainder of this meeting, is that not going to be the case in the future likely?
It may be, it may not be, depends on if rules change.
It may be. It may not be. It depends on if rules change. Any other questions? All right, wonderful. With that, we're back into order. We're going to go back to special orders. Item B, appointment of 2 Drumlin District seats. Is there anyone in the gallery tonight interested in running for a Drumlin District seat? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none. Wonderful. With that, we're on to item C, appointment of 1 Esker District seat. Is there anyone in the gallery interested in running for an Esker District seat? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none. With that, we're on the appointment of 5 off-campus district seats. Is there anyone in the gallery tonight interested in running for an off-campus district seat? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none. With that, we're on to the appointment of 2 Rock County district seats. Is there anyone in the gallery tonight interested in running for a Rock County district seat? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none. With that, we're on to guest speakers. Today we've got a great one. His name is Nick Patricus. He serves as the SUFAC chair.
Hey everyone, give me one moment.
Mr. Patricus, the floor is yours whenever you're ready.
Hello everyone, happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. If you didn't know, I'm sure many of you do, I hold a couple hats in this organization, one of those being Chair SUFAC, which is Speaker Wilson, who knows what SUFAC stands for.
Indeed. Do you want me to say what SUFAC is?
I would love it. What is
Secretary of
SUFAC?
University Fee Allocation Committee.
Awesome, he has learned now. But SUFAC meets every other week on Tuesdays at 3:30 p.m. The location kind of changes, but we will be meeting tomorrow in 268. And everyone in this room should have been on that email list, should have gotten that. If you didn't and you want to know, please come see me, I'll get you that information. It's an open meeting, much like this one, so you can come in, stop by, unless you're on the committee, which we have a couple people in the room, so then you'll be participating. But we've met twice this semester. We've looked at 4 different contingency fund requests and have allocated or approved up to $5,841. So, that's pretty cool. We've looked at 2 line item transfers. Both were approved. We are starting our annual review process of student org spending. That'll happen tomorrow. If you're curious what that looks like, you can always stop by. We've also started the policy revision process. So we have a university policy that governs segregated fees, SUFAC, the non-allocable leadership team, at both the Whitewater campus and the Rocky campus. So we've started that conversation. Hoping to have something in front of you all to vote on in a couple months. But it's quite a long process. Just want to thank our Vice Chair of Educational Outreach, Austin Reberg, our newest member of SUFAC, Elizabeth Vanderheide, our Associate Director, Keaton Turner, who's also a member of SUFAC, Speaker Wilson, who is a non-voting member, and then Kim Clarkson, who's our lovely advisor. So, and then Abby was on it last semester, but she's now Vice President, so I don't think she's too upset for not being on anymore. With that, Mr. Speaker, I yield.
Any questions for Mr. Patricus? I have one. Why are you here giving this report?
Yeah, so the policy that governs SUFAC requires that I give a mandatory, or that SUFAC gives a monthly update to WSG. And for a while, it's kind of, and what does that look like? So I want to start kind of defining what that looks like by having the chair give a monthly update to the Senate every month. So next month, I'll be back to give you another update.
Wonderful. Any other questions for SUFAC Chair Nick Patricus? Going once? Advisory report?
Nick, can you share how people will be selected or when the next open period in case people are interested in serving?
Yeah, so there are 8 members of SUFAC, eight voting members of SUFAC, 5 colleges, and then 3 WSG appointments, right? So College of Arts, College of Business, College of Arts and Sciences, which is what I am, College of Education, which which is what Keaton is. School of Graduate Studies. Oren Smith, you may know him, is that representative. And we have 2 Senate appointments. One's a 1-year, one's a 2-year. Lofton Reberg is a 1-year. Heath Houston is in his first of 2 years as the 2-year appointment. And then the president gets to pick. So if you are interested, what you should do is you should reach out to me, reach out to the SUFAC email. Because when I email the deans, I can just include a little thing at the bottom that the interested students are blank, which will help the deans out greatly. I know it's always a struggle every year to find people who are interested, so you can always do that. Or if you know a dean, you could talk to them directly. You could talk to President Bradley, who will be making an appointment for next year soon. By the end of the semester, reach out to Speaker Wilson, who will have an appointment. That's what you should do.
When is the term of members of SUFAC for the 1-year people?
It is a academic year, essentially. Not clearly defined. It's a thing I need to look into. But, essentially, you start the day after commencement. I was elected chair at the last SUFAC meeting last year, and then I was, in effect, the chair, I guess. We kind of operated with 2 chairs. So it's a thing I've got to work on, but it's an academic year term. So.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice, seeing none, thank you very much, Mr. Pedriquez. With that, we're on to the approval of the agenda and minutes, starting with minutes from February 16th, 2026. Can I get a motion to approve? Going once, going twice, seeing none. Deputy Speaker Patrice?
I move to postpone the consideration of the minutes from February 16th, 2026.
Looking for a second. Seconded by Senator Lang. Can I get a voice vote? Any opposed? Going once, going twice. Seeing none, wonderful. With that, they've been postponed. So we're on to item B, agenda for February 23rd, 2026. Can I get a motion to approve? Senator Whedon? You going crazy? Yeah. Looking for a second?
Yeah, I see.
Looking for a second? Second by Senator Schroffenhauser. Looking for a voice vote?
Acclamations.
Any opposed? Senator Majors? Given there's been opposition voiced, we can go into a roll call vote. Is that correct?
Division has to be called, right?
It has to be.
It's been opposed. I think what makes sense is moving to a voice vote. Roll call vote, but it's I'm asking for your advice.
I believe it is discussion.
Okay, with that, we're on to discussion on the motion. We'll start with Senator Majors.
The reason that I voted against this was there are 2 misspellings on this agenda in the reports, internal committee reports. Academic is spelled wrong in affairs, and communications is also spelled wrong. I don't want to approve an agenda that has that misspelling. I think it would be unprofessional of us.
Deputy Speaker Tree.
I move to amend the agenda to reflect those changes.
Looking for a second. Senator Lang.
Second.
Move into discussion. Deputy Speaker Patrice again. Going once, going twice. Seeing none. Can I get a voice vote?
Acclamations.
Any opposed? Going once, going twice, seeing none. So moved. So we just
Is there any further discussion?
going once, going twice, seeing none. So with that, we're on the approval of the agenda for February 23rd, 2026. Can I get a motion to approve? Senator Majors?
Motion to
Looking for a second, seconded by Senator Lang. Can I get a voice vote?
acclamation.
Any opposed? Going once, going twice? Seeing none. With that, the agenda for February 23rd, 2026 has been approved. We got there in the end. Wow. With that, we are on to student issues and concerns. Are there any student issues and concerns on the agenda? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none? Are we good? We're good, right? I don't feel too good. Are we good? We're good? All right, wonderful. I don't want to get too melodramatic. With that, we're on to reports. We'll go into external committee reports. Any external committee reports? We got none. So we're on to internal committee reports, starting with the Academic Affairs Committee. Yeah, so I lost it. Yeah.
Hello all, happy Monday. So the Academic Affairs Committee met last Wednesday, during which we elected a vice chair, Nathan Dulig, and a secretary, which is me. We then discussed a few winter break updates and concerns, followed by a discussion of faculty awards, which is our big focus for the semester, and then ended that with goals for the semester. We wrapped up our meeting with a discussion of a committee work we were assigned, which is called Dear New Advisor. Where we'll all write to new advisors to talk about what we think new advisors need to know. And I yield.
Any questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none? Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Bender. With that, we are on to elections.
Okay, so elections met last week Tuesday at 8 a.m. We discussed the upcoming debate, which will be held in the Down Under at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, March 11th. We decided we decided it would stay very similar to the past years, no matter the amount of slates that we end up having. If someone wants to participate in the debate as a write-in candidate, then they need to reach out to me by 5 p.m. on Friday, March 6th. And currently, the moderator will be President Bradley. I yield.
Any questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none? With that, we are on to communications.
Y'all are gonna get real sick of me real fast. I have 2 in a row, so I apologize. All right, good evening. I first want to thank you for your patience. I was still learning how to submit a report, so for communications, I unfortunately have 3 meetings to discuss. The Communications Committee met on February 9th at 2 p.m. in UC 127. We elected a secretary, myself. We then started to discuss Instagram post ideas, some of which included campus fun facts, and to review this video of what a center does in WSG. We started discussion on potential collaboration ideas with various communities, businesses, and campus departments. We met again on the 19th at 2 p.m. and we started to recreate an existing reel posted on our Instagram about what a center does, and had a brief conversation regarding the gala and beginning to think about marketing for that event. We met again today at 2 p.m. We continued discussion on the WSG Gala, specifically focusing on drafting invitations for the event, which the committee is collaborating on. So that's all I have. I will the rest of my time.
Any questions for Senator? Once? Going twice? Seeing none? Wonderful. With that, we're on to student affairs.
Hello again. It's me. So I have 2 meetings to discuss for student affairs. Student affairs met at 8 a.m. on the 12th. In the Warhawk Connection Center for the first time this semester. We listened to updates from Director Willisquist and Associate Director Turner. We then elected a vice chair and secretary. We started discussion on It's on Us and any ideas that we had in regard to events and programming. We then turned to discussing student concerns regarding parking usage and speeding, textbook rental shortages, various dining concerns, high usage in the Williams Center, and concerns about fire code in the Williams Center. We adjourned that meeting at 8:47. We met again on the 17th at 8 a.m. We continued discussion about It's on Us and started planning events. We heard from Associate Director Turner with updates from dining, housing, the Children's Center, and the CSD, Center for Students with Disabilities. We then moved into student concerns and updates in areas such as parking services, dining, the CSD, Title IX, and the Dean of Students.
Any questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none? Wonderful. With that, we're on to officer reports. We'll start with the report of President Doug Bradley. But before we do, please note if you have an electronic device in front of you. Reports were sent out last week, and as President Bradley goes into why, we'll move into the changes that we made on our side.
Good evening, everybody. As you recall, reports set out ahead of time. There will be no oral reports given by any of the e-board members tonight. So please make sure you read the reports that went out around 3 o'clock on Friday. And with that, I will yield to any questions.
So on our side, what I plan to do, just to give everybody some time to really take a look at those reports, is we're going to have a pause, at least for the first couple of weeks, as we're going to be moving a little faster. I think President Bradley's intention with this is to get things moving a little faster for the meetings, and also so folks can have some time, really sit with the reports and ask good questions. And in the spirit of that, at least for the first couple ones, we're going to be doing an awkwardly long pause for questions. So any questions? Deputy Speaker Patrice.
Was it an intentional choice by you to only have Senate officer reports in the packet, or is there a reason why the executive reports are not in the packet?
Yeah, normally there will not be a packet. It was just that Senate officer reports were not received by before the deadline to be sent out with the e-board reports on Friday. And so because they did not go out early, you provided a packet with them today to make up for it this one time.
Any other questions? Deputy Speaker Patrice.
Is it your intention going forward to not have any officer reports in the packet, either printed or digital?
Yes, so my plan is to not have a packet. There will be an agenda you receive from the speaker and supporting documents from the speaker, as well as on a Friday, you will receive the reports written.
Does that go for us so for those of you who aren't aware, Senate leadership gets a packet every meeting. Is that also going to be a part
We will make sure that you have materials so that you can run the meeting effectively.
Follow. What does that mean to you?
I suppose we need to have a conversation about what you need to run a meeting effectively, and we can do our best to make sure you have it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Any other questions for President Bradley? And once? Deputy Speaker Patrice.
Give an update on the advisor search.
Yes, so I told you all an email about last week. It did not. Advisor Clarkson and I are meeting Wednesday. So time on the schedule to get that out. If you recall, I made a comment last week about while I can send campsite emails, I have to go through the advisor. So we have stuff happened last week. It was a busy week. The advisor and I have a time scheduled to sit down and to send it on Wednesday.
Any other questions for President Bradley? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, wonderful. With that, we're on to the report of our Vice President, Abby Reiser. Please take a look as we move into questions. Deputy Speaker Patrice.
Where is the provost search and screen at?
Like the
point of
process, like where are we at in that process? So we've reviewed the initial pool, and then moving forward with interviews.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice, seeing none, wonderful. With that, we're on the report of our WSG advisor. Any questions?
As I am every week, I've just been supporting other people throughout the process of the work that they're doing.
Wonderful. With that, we'll move to questions. Any questions? Going once, going twice, seeing none, wonderful. With that, we are on to e-board reports, starting with the report of Director of Academic Affairs, Olivia Gross. You can now go in, take a look. Deputy Speaker Patrice.
See here you attended SPBC last week. Were you appointed to be on that committee by the Senate?
I believe it was the presidential.
Senator Lane.
Can you just give a quick update about what was discussed at the technology committee?
Yeah, so, University Technology Committee, give me 1 second, let me pull it up. It was just mainly an overview of what has been going on. They have a lot of different, like, kind of pet projects going on. So some of the conversations we had was like AI, so with ChatGPT EDU, how that's been going and how faculty has started to utilize it. Additionally, with how AI is being used, like, in and out of the classroom, what is kosher and not kosher for academic use with AI. Additionally, some current projects about like safety projects, Wi-Fi projects, some different stuff like that. Is there anything in specific you're curious about? Oh,
Any questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, wonderful. With that, we're on to the report of our Director of Student Affairs, Maddie Rosquist. You can go ahead and take a look at that. Deputy Speaker Patrice.
How did your It's On Us planning meeting go?
It was canceled.
Any other questions? Deputy Speaker Patrice.
What does various campus meetings mean?
Yeah, so Angela Maldonian we met with, I met with Dale Pinzino, Emma Draper, that was it for this week, or this following week and then past week. I have a few other meetings with, here, let me pull up my calendar and give you names. So I have a meeting, hopefully to reschedule that It's On Us meeting with Krista. We have a UHCS meeting, there's a dining meeting coming up. I believe that's it this week.
Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, wonderful. With that, we're on to the report of our Associate Director of Student Affairs, Dean Turk. You can now take a look. Deputy Speaker Patrice.
I see on here it says you met with a few departments across campus. Can you just tell me what that means?
I had planned to meet with Senator Sarah Boyd of the Center for Students with Disabilities. However, she did have to cancel on me, as well as Chelsea Powers, the director of our interim director of the Child Care Center. We have rescheduled.
Any questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, wonderful. With that, we're on to the report of our Director of Communications, Paige Lindeman. You can now go through and take a look at that report. Deputy Speaker Patrice.
It says on here that you were designing graphics for upcoming events. Are you just able to say what events?
Well, for designing graphics, like it's mostly just for upcoming like holidays and stuff like that. And I was planning on designing some for It's On Us, but at the moment we don't have the information that we need, so I'm waiting on that right now.
Any other questions? Wonderful. With that, we do have the RSGA chair, Annie Holmbeck, in the room. If you'd like to say anything, you're welcome now.
Well, I suppose what I can say is that a lot of the work we do is wholesome. If anything eventful goes on, I usually provide it in a written report, so look forward to those. They're very rare, but they do appear. I suppose that's all I'll say. I can yield.
Wonderful. Any questions? Going once? Senator Hardy?
What are some plans that we have coming up for you for WSG?
Some plans for WSG.
For WSG and UW County, because we're going to go on to the trip. I mean, I know that I see us getting the details sorted out, but I'm kind of excited for the trip and what's going to be there, happening there.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do some further planning for that. I feel like it should be a lot more of a special occasion than we usually make it out to be, so, yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, wonderful. With that, we are on to the report of our WSG clerk. It is a written report, but as clerk, about your question. You can ask it, it won't be the answer. Welcome, Deputy Chief Rodriguez, do you have it? No? All right.
Question for the clerk, but since he's not here.
Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, wonderful. With that, we're on to the report of the Senate Parliamentarian. George Burnell.
Hello all. I apologize that I could not give my report to you ahead of time. But I have good news. I have outreach requirements for everyone. I will be passing around. And while I pass these around, while they make their way around the room, I get to tell you a little bit about Robert's rules. How fun is that? Woo! So, as I told you a little bit earlier, the chair, which is the person who has the power of the gavel, cannot partake in any partisan discussion, which means that they basically cannot share their opinion on anything. Yeah, I have citations if you want them. The parliamentarian is encouraged to not talk about anything, really. The chair is able to relinquish their power, pass the gavel onto the next person if they want to. These are all things within Robert's rules. There's more stuff you can get into if you really want to really get into the weeds. But if there's ever something within Robert's rules or the Constitution of WSG that you're like, man, I really hate that. If your heart so desires for a meeting, you have the ability to put forward a motion to suspend the rules. Suspend the rules. This motion requires a second and needs a 2/3 vote. There are other ways to do it as well. You could also do a majority of the entire body or a majority if there's prior notice. It's also makes people feel icky, but it is something that is a tool that you can use. Just to make you aware that it is something you can do. I feel that it is my duty to make you aware as the parliamentarian that it is something that is within your power of something you can do. Additionally, I did have it written down as something I was going to talk about. Something that a lot of people do not know is seconding a motion. When you second a motion, it does not necessarily mean that you agree with the motion. Same with nominating. It does not mean that you want to vote for that person. It just means that you think that that person or that motion should be considered, that they should be, it should be discussed or talked about or whatever. It does not mean that you are necessarily in favor of that. So seconding does not sign away your rights to disagree. Now, you should all have in front of you outreach requirements. This is what you should all really care about. So, outreach requirements are mandatory in the standing rules. I have the excerpt in the standing rules. I have decided that there are 2 ways that you can complete your outreach requirements. You can either volunteer your time or you can collect constituent concerns. So the first way, volunteering time. there are two ways you can do this. You can either spend an hour at a WSG sponsored event. So this can be like the involvement fair, or like it's on us, or something like that. If you spend 2 hours at the event, you can get 2 outreach events done. If you spend 3 hours at the event, you can only get 2 outreach events done. I'm sorry, that's how it's gonna work. It only works for 2 per event. These have to be external facing events. It can't be like the Senate retreat. That doesn't work for outreach. It has to be outreach. Additionally, you could table or reverse table with the intention of outreach. It can't be tabling with the intention of involvement fair. That's not outreach. If you do this, you only have to do it for 30 minutes. If you go and table for an hour and a half, you can get all 3 outreach events done in one sitting. That's fine. That you can do that on one random day in March. That works for me. That is the volunteering time way of getting your outreach event done. Next is collecting concerns. To collect concerns, you have to get a list of 10 constituent concerns together, which have to all be dated, but with the concern, with the time, dated with the date of when you collected the concern. These concerns have to then be submitted to me. They can be written, they can be emailed, whatever. They have to be submitted to me by the due date. You can do this method multiple times, but if you do it a second time, then it has to be at least 7 unique concerns. 7 concerns that are different from the original 10 that you submitted. My idea is if you go and you table for an hour for the first time, and your idea is, okay, I'm going to table for outreach for an hour, and you're talking with people and you're collecting constituent concerns, and you collect 10 concerns while you're tabling, you can then submit those 10 concerns, and that's your last outreach event as well. So that's 3, and you've only done it for an hour, if that makes sense. Any outreach events that have been completed already are valid. I'm not going to revoke anybody's outreach events. Yeah, I believe that's it. I will yield to questions.
Any questions, Senator Marty?
Does working at the does helping get volunteer hours at the nursing home event count, or doing external volunteer or community service matters such as going to the church and helping out make a tarp and doing for the Red Cross, helping out other ways with beyond WSG and student government? Or do I need to have an official note saying this is community service hours signed by the organizer, and then the paper of all the hours given to you?
It has to be a WSG sponsored event.
Okay.
So good.
Why are the due dates for each of the events like spaced out like 7 days apart?
They are each, I believe, Sundays in April.
Yeah. Could I ask what your the reasoning for that is? Like why they're like just all so close together?
Yeah, so the idea is to give you time to work ahead to, let me pull up my calendar. So, yeah. So they're all Sundays in April. You're all adults here, right? I wanted to give you freedom to have time to sort of plan and get these events done whenever you can. And I wanted to move them all towards the end of the semester. I wanted to have all of the dates due towards the end of the semester. But I also wanted to have the dates due not at the very end of the semester so that there were consequences if you did not do that. Because if they were all due at the very last day of the semester and a senator did not do any outreach event and they accrued 3 absences and that pushed them over the amount of unexcused absences that they needed to be reported to IEC, that would be refreshed at the semester.
Any other questions, Senator Lang?
Just for clarification, when you say suspend the rules, are you talking about the standing rules or Robert's Rules of Order?
So, to suspend the standing rules is a 1/2 vote. It is a majority. To suspend Robert's Rules of Order is 2/3. So both are things you can do. It's just a different margin.
Senator Janetti? Yeah. Did you have a follow-up? I'm so sorry, Senator Lang. Senator Janetti?
All right, so how concrete are the dates? Like, let's say you plan for something that's gonna happen on, say, April 23rd. Like, let's say you talk with, like a senator were to talk with you beforehand, would there be an exemption, or are these dates very concrete?
Yeah, just talk to me, let me know. I'm very flexible.
Senator Weaver?
Okay, so I have like a couple of questions. So first, for the collecting concerns section, I know that they have to be marked with a date. Do you want, for those things, do you want like a name, or do you want, like, what do you want? Do you want something to verify, or do you just want a date next to a concern and we just hand you 10? Or either way, I mean.
I don't think that's necessary. I think just a concern and a date. There's not really a need to verify a name. I would encourage you all to follow up on the concerns and to check in with the directors and to speak and try and get these concerns met, but I can't make you do anything, so.
Do you have a follow-up, Senator?
And then, I know that we've seen outreach in the past, it's been coming in a lot of different forms and a lot of different ways. I was wondering why to just 2? If you had anything in your head. Like, I don't mean that to sound mean in any way, I'm so sorry, that couldn't have been asked in like a nice way. But I was just wondering the logic behind switching it to something where it's very large and versatile to something where it's only 2 options and it's kind of small.
I think it was in the past trying to cast too broad of a net and simplifying it sort of I don't know how to explain it, but like sort of rein it in a little bit.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
Senator Marty?
Is there going to be a Google form to sign up to do these outreach events? For the time slots that we can check off to do the tabling?
So tabling is,
I mean, doing the so we can get so we can get the requirements, like a form, so I can fill it out, get the requirements, and then go to the table at that time.
sure, so for sponsored events, those are, here and there. It really just depends on when you're available, what events are happening.
So I can just go to the table and sit down and say, hey,
But-
I'm gonna be this senator.
Tabling is a different story. Tabling is really, you have to, if there is a table available in the UC, you have to go to our president, Douglas Bradley, and say, hey, I would like to request a table in the UC. Are you able to go to SAI and request a table on behalf of WSG to table for X amount of time so that I can get my outreach event done?
Any other
So,
questions? Once. President Bradley?
I have just a few. One kind of was answered as it relates to people submitting student concerns. Is there a way, once they share it to you, that you'll share it with the e-board, or is it expected that the senator collecting those share that with the respective e-board member?
I will check in with the e-board to see if it was mentioned to them and sort of direct them towards the senator that problem concerned.
President Bradley, if you want.
New question.
Yeah.
As it relates to learning a little bit about Robert's rules this evening, can you talk about what might be happening if somebody who's not a senator entertains a motion? What does that look like? What might be going on there?
Sure, so entertaining a motion is asking that someone who is able to make a motion makes a motion.
President Bradley?
Is it true that at least the president might entertain a motion just to have something talked about to open up a period of discussion? That's often a tactic used by the current WSG president.
That is true.
Any other questions? Going once? Deputy Speaker Patrice?
Is it true that currently the advisor can make motions?
Yes. Yes, it is.
We might change that.
For right now. Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, I want to go with that one with the report of our Deputy Speaker, Nick Patrice.
Happy Monday, everyone. This is my report here. Week 5 of the semester, can you believe it already? Thank you to everyone who submitted their office hours for last week. You probably got an email from me, I think most of you did, about not doing them one or both weeks. Sent those out. Thank you to everyone who had those in. If you didn't, I will continue that. I've been working on constitutional revisions with Senator Reber, so we'll see those next week. My goal is to get it in front of as many people as possible this week, so fingers crossed that happens. And then working on appointment information and just access to resources. So we used to have some old Google calendars, or not calendars, Google Classrooms. That had a bunch of cool old PowerPoints that I downloaded and put them in the shared drive. So take a look at those. That's it. Speaker, are you?
Any questions for Deputy Speaker Patrice? Senator Martin?
What happened to having why can't WSG have a Canvas page instead of a shared drive?
Yeah. I believe we've looked into that in the past. And it's just not the easiest thing to do. It's much easier to do like a Google Classroom or have just a Google shared drive that we can then manage.
President Bradley?
There are some conversations at the executive tier level about having a Canvas page for new members of a shared governance organization, so not just student government, but the other three groups, kind of about what a shared governance looks like on campus. So I think that's Gabby Drale heading that up. So I forget when that plan is going to be rolled out, but there will be some Canvas materials coming for, again, new members to get an idea of what shared governance at University of Wisconsin-Whitewater looks like. I'll make sure you're in the loop.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice, seeing none, wonderful. With that, we are on my report. Alrighty. In here somewhere. So, you all should have gotten an email/calendar invite from me today, and it's got great news attached to it. Training has been rescheduled for March 13th. That's a Friday. And I'll tell you a little bit about how we came to that and what the kind of itinerary looks like. So, on Friday, Parliamentarian Camille, Deputy Speaker Patrigas, and I, we found ourselves with quite a bit of time on our hands in this room, exactly, and we decided, I essentially posed a question. I said, well, training was scheduled for today. It's no longer taking place. The standing rules mandates we have a training. What should it look like? And we had two things. Do we want to do exactly what we had planned for today? Do we want to do less than what we had planned for today, given that we had to cancel this and not make it mandatory? Or do we want to do more than what we had today? I believe the term we began to use was full swing. Do we want to really try to have a good, useful training? And after rigorous discussion, we all agreed that it's best to move forward in full swing, as it were. So we left that meeting, and we went right to work on thinking about and planning how we can make training a really useful, gratifying experience for everybody who's a part of it. And obviously the first part of that is free food. So we have secured some free food for that training day. But we're also going to be partnering with some other campus stakeholders who are going to come in and talk to us, allow us to engage in some discussion. And the day will end with a particular, it will have a deliverable of sorts. We will come out, we will start with nothing, and we will come out with something. And I would say more info to come, but a lot of that I'm kind of excited to keep close to the chest because I'm really excited about some of the stuff we have planned, and I don't want to spoil any of it. But we are starting in Highland Hall, and I'm saying starting in Highland Hall because we will be moving around the university a bit, and we will be ending, at least, we'll be eating dinner in Esther. So.
Is that the free food?
That is the free food, yes. So.
Wow.
That's that portion. And then, my report, it's in my packet. Did it ever get, is it going to get sent out? How does that work?
In the packet, we can talk about it.
Okay. Well, you can see the meetings that I attended in my report. That's the super important bit. Otherwise, I yield any questions for myself. President Gregg.
Yes, it sounds like there will be some maneuvering at your training. How should somebody, should they need it, request accommodations?
Yeah, so if there are accessibility accommodations, you can let me or Deputy Speaker Patrigas know, but probably me, before I send out the 2 weeks. This is official notice to y'all, so it is mandatory. But I'm going to send out another email, an internal one that kind of has slightly more details about exactly what any bit of moving around looks like. And at that time, it would probably be best to communicate any accessibility concerns. But if you have any accommodations necessary, you can let us know now as well. You can let us know right after the meeting. Any other questions, Senator Major?
If an individual, like a senator, has a external committee meeting that may or may not run late, it's right below, what should they do?
It's a long, training's long. And I'm assuming your external committee meeting is not as long as the train. Talk to Deputy Speaker Patricus, but also, depending on what it is, I would assume you can go to both. Like, I would assume that that's a very feasible thing to do. So, talk to Deputy Speaker Patricus, or just come chat with us after the meeting. Any other questions? Senator Marty, did you have one?
So is the food only going to be Esker, or is there going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
We have one meal planned, but there will probably be some snacks as well. The free hot food will be dining hall related.
Oh, you were serious?
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke.
Oh, it's gonna be like McDonald's.
No, there will be free hot food. There will be free hot food. I was not lying on the calendar invite when I sent that.
Is it? That's trash.
Oh man, I was hoping we'd have McDonald's.
Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none. Wonderful. With that, I'm moving us on to unfinished business, and I'm passing the gavel over to Deputy Speaker Patricus. I'm officially passing the gavel over to Deputy Speaker.
Alright, we're on week 2 of S252607, resolution defining ex officio members. And so what that means is it is discussion. I will allow questions. Questions are almost always allowed. They are allowed in this instance. We'll do discussion. If you have any questions for the submitters or myself, you're allowed to ask. And then we'll go into voting. Actually, we'll go into discussion, but if the submitters want to discuss anything, I'll let them have the floor first.
I think it's great.
Cool.
I encourage your vote of aye. I'm not currently in mute.
Any other discussion?
In mute?
More questions, or I'm not seeing it. Which, in that instance, no. I'm not seeing any discussion. So in that case, we will go into a vote. Madam Clerk, whenever you're ready, please call the roll. A vote of aye.
A couple more seconds for discussion.
We're in discussion. Senator Marty, do you have something? Any discussion? I'm not seeing it. Parliamentarian for now?
I would like to say that, no, it's not an opinion.
Okay.
In practice, this will add, the ability for ex officio members to not make motions, to the standing rules. Ex officio members are already unable to count towards quorum and unable to vote.
You have yet to hear from the CRC chair on pros, cons, and organizational impact, so I will yield to, it looks like the secretary,
Yeah, give me one quick second.
Director Olivia Gross, whenever she's ready.
Yeah, sorry. Got a little bit confused there, wasn't sure who was sharing. Yes, so pros, cons then?
Pros, cons, and then organizational impact.
Yeah, so some of the pros was that this is currently, the definition is currently in line with what our organization is already doing. There is another pro, is that there is a definitions section in our standing rules, and we're able to better utilize that with defining ex officio. Additionally, another pro is that we should have records of what promises were made and then when those promises are kept. And then another pro was that it strongly deviates the organization from Robert's rules. A couple of cons was that there was a little bit of like grammatical errors, and it was unclear of ex officio with or without the little dash. I think that's been cleared up though. A con is that the amendment doesn't fit with what Robert's rule says and what they define as ex officio. And that it strongly deviates from Robert's rules. And then going into organizational impact is that it further defines what the ex officio member means, and then it keeps in line with institutional practices, and I believe it further utilizes that definition in our standards.
I'm looking at the bill here. I believe it has been amended, or it was amended last week to have a dash between ex and officio in all instances. Am I correct in that? Perfect.
Indeed.
So you're looking at the not amended version, but it is imagine a dash between ex and officio. Any further discussion? Senator Richardson?
Okay, so just to clarify, so this motion amends the previous definition, so we're just clarifying that our definition of ex officio is different from the Roberts.
So what this legislation does is, in our standing rules, I don't know if you have a copy readily available, we have 8 section definitions. There's one definition now, it's ex officio. It's, I think, 2 lines, maybe less than that. So this just changes that definition to be that. It is different than the one that Robert's Rules prescribes, but it was already, or is currently different. So this is just making it more different. Seeing no further discussion. So, Madam Clerk, whenever you're ready, if you please call the roll. A vote of aye is in favor of adopting the legislation. A vote of nay is against.
Senator Janetti? Aye. Senator Dewitt?
Aye.
Senator Lynn?
Aye.
Senator Majors?
Aye.
Senator Marty?
Aye.
Senator Patricios?
Aye.
Senator Purnell?
I abstain.
Senator Reber?
Aye.
Senator Reyes?
Aye.
Senator Richardson? Aye. Senator Schrocknagel?
Aye.
Senator Thompson?
Aye.
Senator Vanderhyde?
Aye.
Senator Waitman?
Aye.
Speaker Wilson?
Abstain.
Senator Patricios?
Abstain. All right, in a vote of 12-0 with 3 abstentions, resolution defining ex officio members has passed.
No plus, please.
And with that, we're into new business. All right. That was the aspect.
Alrighty, with that, we're on to new business, which we're already clear and out of, so we're on to announcements. Does anybody have announcements today? Madam Clerk.
Alpha Gamma Delta is holding AGDs on Friday night at our house from 6 to 8. You can buy some quesadillas and donate to our philanthropy in the process of it. We have some members of our organization who are going to attend, such as President Bradley, so you can come and see him, and me, and probably Director Rosquist and Senator Thompson as well.
Vice President Ryan.
So it's time to change up the cleaning schedule. So if you're interested in being on that, then please see me after. Thank you.
Senator Majors.
As promised, I mentioned to my boss that I would do this. On Thursday, March 12th, in UC 275B, we will be having the etiquette dinner. It is free for students. It starts at 4 p.m. with optional headshots and networking. Dinner will begin promptly at 4:30. We have a lovely guest speaker coming in to discuss all of this. The attire for that is business casual. We ask that you sign up in advance as there is a limit to how many people we can have attend this event.
Information?
Go ahead.
Where do I?
Go ahead.
Where do I sign up?
You can sign up on Connect 2. It looks like Kim also has some lovely flyers for everyone if you would like to grab those on your way out.
Senator Lane?
An additional reminder, the Homecoming Steering Committee application closes this Sunday. If you are in the room and you would like an interview, I can pretty much guarantee you an interview. So, if that's something that you would like to do, please let me know.
In addition to the Homecoming Steering Committee, if you remember that the University Center is also hiring and that application is also due on Sunday. I cannot guarantee you an interview, although you are all very skilled and likely to be selected for one anyway. We have some great events coming up that might also be great reverse tabling for your requirements. The first one is tomorrow. There's a spring resource fair called Discover Whitewater in the Hamilton Room. It's about 20 tables are planned to be there, including departments from across campus, but also community resources and community connections that you can make in the city of Whitewater. And of course, there's prizes that will be given out for those who take advantage. For those of you who need something fun to do, we have Bob Ross painting night this Wednesday. We have live music with Carmen Diane on Thursday. And then please remember about the etiquette dinner, there are only 45 seats. So if you want a seat, you need to reserve. Thank you, Brianna. You need to reserve one quickly. But please, if you cancel, because we don't want to pay for a meal that we don't feed a student, okay? And then the last thing I have is involvement awards. Those applications have been out. They're a great opportunity to recognize you and your organization. And I will have all of these available with the QR codes and links for you.
Point of information, do you know if they'll be serving at the etiquette dinner?
No.
Okay.
I'm sure we can
Esco
find out.
food.
Pasta. I don't know.
Any other announcements? Deputy Speaker Rodriguez?
When are involvement awards due?
March 15th.
Senator Richardson?
On the 25th at 7:08, the AKAs are holding a My Black is Beautiful showcase. And it's going to be like an art kind of event, but I will be performing a poem. If anyone wants to go, that would be really fun.
Any other announcements? Senator Gillen?
I make cookies and they're in the office, so enjoy at your pleasure.
Any other announcements? Folks, hour and 15 minutes. I cannot believe, wow. What a meeting, huh? Any other announcements? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none? It just so happens we've been blessed to be on adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Senator Majors.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded by Senator Reyes from downtown. Can I get a voice vote? Are there any opposed? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none? We're out of here, man. I'm going to bed. I'm going so bad.
I hate it.